John, what the hell happened at D23? Because I don't know. Did anything happen at D23?
There were some titles announced, animation-wise.
Right.
There's apparently a Coco sequel that they're working on, Coco 2, which I don't understand why you would do a sequel to that movie. That's such
why not? I mean, it was successful.
So great. Let it be on its own for what.
Oh, I don't know about that.
We'll see what happens. But there's something called Hex that's coming as well. And then Avengers Doomsday, it was just Paul Rudd introducing some stuff with the Russo brothers there, all on video, not in person. And it was just a bunch of lines from previous Marvel movies. And there was rumored to be some poster that came out. I haven't verified if the poster is accurate, but it has like this kind of barrier blocking all the MCU people, and Doom is sitting on his throne staring at them. And so that's basically a lot of what was the big news coming out of D23, but there wasn't much, man. I mean, a lot of people didn't even know this was happening.
Crazy. No, so in years past, D23 would get hyped up as much as like we do Comic-Con specials, we would do D23 specials. And as D23 became like Disney's Comic-Con, the presentations are used. Sometimes they replicated exactly what they did at Comic-Con and did it at D23 for those people who didn't see it. And then they did more. I remember one of the ones that we went to in 2022 or whatever it was, and they showed Avatar 2, and they didn't even show Avatar at this one. I feel like they dropped the ball tremendously on this because no hype whatsoever on it. I don't know what they're going to do, if anything, at Comic-Con. And if so, if they wind up doing a lot at Comic-Con, do they even have a panel at Wait, we did Comic-Con. Comic-Con's passed. Never mind. It's passed. I'm out of the loop. So they didn't do anything at Comic-Con. They did nothing at D23. Now, there's two things here. One, I actually think is a smart thing for them not to do D23. My thoughts, I'm sorry, Comic-Con. My thoughts on Comic-Con I've been very vocal about it. I think it is a loss of money for studios. I don't think it makes sense. However, I think it makes sense when it's your own thing and you're promoting. I get it that the primary goal is to promote the parks. I get it, but this is your con. This is a Disney con. This is one of the few places you have so many damn IPs and you get so much that you can do that you're spending the money on the event anyway. If you're spending the event, then yes, you're probably spending a little extra if you're going to bring talent in. But I remember going in 2011, 2012 with Ellis, and Idina Menzel sang Let It Go for the first time anywhere.
Yeah.
And I remember going, oh, that's going to be a big song. And just sitting in the theater. I remember The Rock coming out and doing the Moana stuff and all that. I am surprised that this just kind of came and went with nothing. And I wonder, why do you think that is, John? I always get so excited to talk about Trade Coffee. I think you guys know that by now. They're like my favorite thing in the world. I love them. I use them every single day. I'm always using Trade Coffee. I'm always excited to get new bags, try new things, and they really are learning what I like because days are cooling down now, man. And so for me, the coffee routine shifts. I like warm mugs in the mornings when it starts to get cold here. You can get iced coffee in sunny afternoons. It really doesn't matter the season, to be honest, hot or cold. They recommend beans that I love. They do it so well. They roast them to order and they deliver them right to my door. It's like having my favorite cafe on standby without ever leaving home. I just look forward to it all the time. Trade is the #1 coffee destination in the U.S. for both hot and cold coffee drinkers. They've sourced the best beans from over 50 top roasters across the U.S., and you can tell. Trade's prices are on par with grocery store brands, but the quality, it's next level. It doesn't matter if it's smooth, cold brew, cozy, hot cup to start the day. And the best part is that you're supporting local roasters with every cup. It's a win-win. I mean, have you ever heard me not talk about Trade Coffee? If you've been listening to this show long enough, it's how I start my day. It's part of my day. It's the first thing I do. I see Trade Coffee in the morning before I see my kids. Trade Coffee is offering 50% off of a 1-month trial, but you got to go to drinktrade.com/Kristian. That is drinktrade.com/Kristian. Get 50% off 1 month. Drinktrade.com/Kristian. I don't know what you're waiting for. Drinktrade.com.
I just think people are kind of burnt out. Plus, it's August, man. We just had a really strong July. And I just think people have done the Comic-Con thing. I don't think people are as interested in this stuff anymore. It's like if it's not on YouTube, I don't think there's people anymore who are like, oh, I'm missing out. Like, I just think people are not that interested anymore in this stuff in the levels that they were. Like, there was new Mandalorian and Grogu footage. Is anyone talking about it? Not really. There was a new light cycle chase scene from Tron Ares. Is anyone talking about it? Not really. So it just feels like people were. It's a vacation weekend. I think this was the wrong time to do this thing.
There was footage from Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah. There's a little bit of footage that they showed. No one's talking about it.
Nobody's talking about it.
No one's talking about it. And so it's like, and it sounds like pretty cool footage if I had been there. But I just think people like if it's not on YouTube and I can't see it, fuck them. I don't care about it. And I think that's fair. People are coming to the point now more and more that like if it ain't in front of their faces and you don't put it in front of their faces, they're not going to give it the attention that it would normally get. There's not the feeling of, oh, I'm missing out or exclusivity of any of that. That stuff's dead. That's part of why Comic-Cons, the main Comic-Cons are falling apart. The smaller ones are growing, but the big ones are falling apart because people are like, if I can't make it, I'm not going to pay that much attention to it, you know?
Right. And it's true. So I remember when they used to do, and I wonder also too, I just know that there's been certain, like there have been publicists that really at Disney that really understood the virtual space, and not only from YouTube critics, influencers, if you will, like really got it. And I think that there are some that do over there too. I think there's younger people over there as well too, but I don't know if the focus is that anymore from what I've seen or heard of. And just whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, but it seems like I remember when all of colleagues would be this thing, covered this thing, the press section, and they very well might have had that this year. But like I said, I remember like Jermaine Lucier, who would be did he tweet about it? I usually always see his
I don't even know.
I don't even know. I didn't see his tweets or anything too. So interesting that they didn't really put a big press on this. I think that there is something about exclusivity that nobody caring as much, and they maybe should have, because I do think that whole thing of, hey, we're going to show it just to this audience, I think that should go away. I
agree. And look at the Mando and Grogu stuff. Like if this was Force Awakens time, people were going crazy about whatever footage was available. But I also think people are burnt out by the Star Wars. So you put this out and you're like, oh, this footage. You're like, I'll wait till I see it. Like I don't want to get all hyped up. Let me see the footage when it gets released. Then
there's not as much hype behind it now too, because it's a disappointment. I'll tell you though, and I think you talked about it a lot on Hot Mic and other things too, is not the last, but what's it called? Starfighter now?
Yes, the Starfighter. Yeah.
That movie is getting the most hype and excitement between because look at the cast they're putting together. Like everything that they're doing with that movie right now, that seems to be the gem right now. And not only the cast, like look, I mean, they got the dude who shot F1 and Top Gun Maverick shooting it. I think this one could be special, John. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right, Chris. And I think it's fascinating about Starfighter. It's doing something that I don't think we've ever seen in a Star Wars approach to a movie, especially now, in that it's saying that it's not connected. People suspect that it might be connected because it might be Rey that he's handed the kid off to. But it feels like a singular film within a universe that is very interconnected. And that's a very rare thing to
happen. Marvel did in 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, kind of. Yes, exactly. And so people almost feel like it's not a Star Wars movie, but it is a Star Wars movie, you know, because Sean Levy and Ryan Gosling. It's unusual the level of talent that they're attracting at the status level that they're at. Yes, we've had Ewan and Natalie in the past, but this is something that's completely different with Ryan and all of these people that are attached to it. It just feels like this is a bit of a one-off. And so people are judging it from that prism instead of judging it as another Star Wars movie. And I think that's a smart move.
If it does well, it ain't going to be a one-off. I'll tell you that.
Like, fair point. It might not be. Right.
Now, Ryan Gosling, they're probably making sure that, hey, if this does well, you got to come back.
So like Joker. Like Joker was supposed to be a one-off, right? And do its own thing, and it made $1 billion, even though it's technically considered a DC character and maybe a DC Elseworlds universe or whatever. But it made $1 billion at a time when DC was floundering. So this could totally be that, you know?
Yeah, it could. I mean, but I think that the difference though between like the Joker was made. I think the major difference with that, and I understand what you're saying, but the difference with Joker was it was made for what, $30-40 million.
Right.
They weren't even pushing it because they didn't even think it would do very well. They didn't know what it was. They weren't putting any eggs in that basket, if you will. You know, this movie, they're putting the eggs in the basket because they're hoping that, and they're going. I mean, you don't put Amy Adams, Aaron Pierre, Ryan Gosling. You don't put this kind of cast with that kind of team together without saying, hey, this movie does well and people care. We want you guys back. And I think you're right. I think that it's also going to probably, if they're smart, which they haven't been in the last 10 years, but if they're smart, they will come up with a plan and say, okay, Kinberg, listen, what's your trilogy about? We know, all right, we know there's a treatment to it. Apparently, there's a treatment for all three of these movies.
Right.
How can we connect that, as you said before, John, this movie to that trilogy so people care, and that's an advertisement to get them in the theater for the next one?
Yeah.
Especially if you can combine some of these characters with this and not just put everything on Daisy Ridley's shoulder. Give us some new characters that we care about, connected to this trilogy, let them interact, and now get excitement around it. But whether or not they do that, they don't. I don't trust them enough to think that they could.
Yeah, but you look at what DC just did, right? And with one movie, they've awoken people's excitement about the brand again.
Sure.
But the difference is they changed creators. They changed the people who were in charge of this stuff.
Right.
That hasn't happened at Star Wars, really. Even if you move Filoni and Carrie Beck in those positions, you're still maintaining the old guard. And so I wonder if they can revitalize the brand with the kind of the same people in charge, with Mandalorian Grogu and with Starfighter. We'll see, man, because they need it. The 1-2 punch, they need it.
They do. So we do have a little bit of a breakdown, a little bit on what they did at D23 here. Check this out. All right, so Disney, some of the stuff that they teased here, they teased Toy Story 5, Hexed, and more, as John was mentioning before. Hexed. All right. Walt Disney Animation Studios premiered the title and first details for its latest original film, Hexed, during a presentation at D23, a journey around the world at Disney in Florida. The film follows an awkward teenage boy and his type A mom who discover that what makes him unusual might just be magical powers that will turn their lives in a secret world of magic upside down. Jose Trinidad, Zootopia, and Jason Moana 2 are set to direct the film, while Roy Conley and Juan Pablo Reyes Lancaster Jones, that's a name. That's 7 names. The film is set to open November 26th. It's one of a number of titles showcased at the presentation. New footage from Hopper screened along with confirmation that Patrick Warburton, Seinfeld fame, will voice Mayor Windancer in the Zootopia sequel, with Yvette Nicole Brown will voice both EMT Otter and Baroness Bear. Paul Rudd showed up with the Russos to tease Avengers Doomsday, but nothing was shown at all besides the 3 men standing behind some bushes lost in the shot. Okay. The biggest highlight was the first look images at the villains of the upcoming Toy Story 5, including the kids' tablet, Lily Pad, the Conan O'Brien voice potty training toy, Smarty Pants, and a malfunctioning Buzz Lightyear army. There's some of the stuff here that's hexed. It's kind of cool. I mean, this is the stuff that they always did at D23. They show you some art, other things too. But Toy Story 5, you got Toy Story 5, you got Incredibles 3 coming out, you got Zootopia 2. Zootopia 2 is going to be a massive movie.
Yeah,
that's got a shot at being $1 billion, as we have repeated many times over. Especially after watching that with my little one for the first time over the weekend. It's like she's like, I want to see this number 2 in the theater. And it's like, you get kids in that theater. You get kids in that theater, and you're gonna get you got a shot to get to $1 billion. You got a shot. So we shall see.
Yeah, I would argue that animation ruled the day at D23, and animation doesn't have the same impact as live action stuff. Not trying to be offensive to animation stuff, it just doesn't. And so I'm not surprised it's more of a muted response to D23 as well.
Well, either way, D23, like I said, kind of came and went. Anything pop out? You guys, do you think they should still do this event? Should they put more focus on it? What say you? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know.